The first mistake you're making with arbitrage betting is you're not signing up with every sportsbook that's available to you in your state or country. I get this question asked so many times by people learning this strategy and getting into arbitrage, which is, hey man, should I just sign up with like 3 or 4 books, or like what's the play here? Even if you have only a small amount of money that you can allot for arbitrage betting, you want to sign up with every book possible. They all offer incredible first-time sign-up promos, easy bankroll builders, but then we don't know what sport, what sports book, or what market is going to pop up on a given day with arbitrage opportunities. So the more books, the more opportunities, the more money in your pocket. In 3 years of sports betting, I've made a lot of mistakes. And early on in my sports betting journey, I was a strict arbitrage bettor, betting the over and the under on 2 different books and making a risk-free profit no matter what happens. There's 8 insights that I want to share with you, whether you're a rookie or a vet. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video because the last tip that I'm going to provide you will save you so much time. But first, I need you to smash that subscribe button if you want to beat the sports books. We upload videos every week teaching you the tips, the strategies, what to look out for. And if you're serious about making money sports betting, you're not going to want to miss a video. Like we mentioned in tip number 1, when you want to have as many books as you possibly can, tip number 2, you want to distribute your money evenly across all these different sports books. So whatever money that you have set aside for sports betting, don't have 90% of that money tied up into 2 different books. Have an even distribution across all the books. That way, when the plays pop up, you're ready to pounce. So for tip number 3, you have to understand that if you're using the OddsJam arbitrage tool, you're going to miss out on some opportunities. You're not going to be able to capture every single arbitrage play that pops up. I like to think of this as robbing a bank. We don't have all day to be able to sit inside the bank and take our sweet old time and grab the money. We have a small window of time to go in, grab the value, and get out. This is a living, breathing market like the stock market, so odds are constantly changing. You have to accept the fact that sometimes, even if you do everything right, you're going to miss out on some opportunities. Now, my 4th tip for you is a little bit more advanced. Early on in your arbitrage betting career, if you bet $25 on one side and $50 on another side, you're going to be able to get both bets down on those books, no problem. But as you start to get some reps in under your belt, gain some confidence, this is where you're going to have to become a little bit more advanced in the strategy, and that's why FanDuel, Hard Rock, and Flip are the 3 best sports books in America to arbitrage with. Here's why. Both FanDuel and Hard Rock have this subtle but super clutch feature. We click on the Padres money line, Padres to win the baseball game. And if we wanted to wager $25,000, you can see that FanDuel will take a wager just over $21,000. See, this is a very important feature right here, as books like DraftKings, BetMGM, and Caesars, they don't offer this same feature. So you would have to type in 25,000, click submit, and then you would find out if those books would take that action. Now, a bonus tip for you is that over here on pitcher strikeouts for, let's say, Dylan Cease over 7.5 Ks, if we wanted to wager again $25,000, well, FanDuel is only going to accept $848. So when we're talking about mainline markets like spreads, money lines, and totals, we can wager a lot more money down on these markets compared to player prop markets. The reason that I bring Flip up as another incredible book to arbitrage with is when we click on moneyline play here for the Diamondbacks, they have a max wager button. And for the mainline plays, you can wager up to $500. This is really critical as an arbitrage bettor because it helps us figure out a piece of the puzzle. So the reason that Flip, FanDuel, and Hard Rock are so important to us as arbitrage bettors is we know the amount of money they'll accept from us for this wager without clicking submit. So we save that. We put that on pause for a second. We go over to our DraftKings, BetMGM, or Caesars and submit that side of the bet first. Once we figure out what they'll accept from us, then we know how to adjust our wager size on FanDuel, Hard Rock, or Flip. So the only way you're not going to be able to make money arbitrage betting is by human error. We want to mitigate these mistakes. So when we start talking about $200, $500, $1,000 that we're putting down on one book, that's where FanDuel, Flip, and Hard Rock are going to become your best friends. Now, the tool that I use to find these profitable plays is the OddsJam arbitrage page. There's a lot going on right here. We can input your bet wager size right up here, or you can simply change it right here on the right-hand side. When we click on this calculator for this play between Fanatics and Bet Rivers, let's say we wager $200 over at Fanatics, you see this $89.55 that we would want to wager on Bet Rivers or Bet Parks. This is the next tip, guys. Do not have loose change on the end of your bets. Simply round up or round down. Having change on the end of your bets is a red flag to the sports books, and we want to blend in and appear like a casual sports bettor. So the next 2 tips that I'll provide with you is figure out which device you're more comfortable with, whether it's the desktop computer or the phone. For me, I love using the computer and having it on a screen. For a lot of people, though, that are successful arb bettors, they like to use the cell phone. For me, though, it's too simple for me to fat finger and make a mistake when I'm punching in the numbers, and then you have to jump back and forth between a lot of different screens. Now, the other tip, if you are using a desktop, you don't have to have this. It's not a necessity, but it definitely helps to have a second monitor. Having a second monitor is definitely a luxury, but for me, I'll pull up all the other sports books on my other screen, then click refresh on the arbitrage tool, and then I'm able just to go ahead and attack. The last 2 tips that I'll leave you with arbitrage betting is an absolute game changer here, the one-click bet feature on OddsJam. Guys, link in the description is a 1-week free trial to OddsJam. Use my code Billy35 and it's going to save you 35% off your first month after the trial ends. 3 plans that we have at OddsJam, the Silver, Gold, and Platinum plan, and the Gold and Platinum plan offer this one-click bet feature where the bet is automatically pulled up over here at BetMGM. All you simply have to do is log in. So you don't have to go and search for this on your own. The one-click bet feature is an absolute game changer. Speed is the name of the game with arbitrage betting, and this cuts through the process really fast. Now, on the other side of this Doyle bet, when you see the game button right here, it's not going to pull the bet up for you, but over here on Bet Rivers, it will load the game up, and then you simply just need to scroll down and find the play on your own, but it does minimize and help save a lot of time. The last and most important tip is going to save you even more time, and that is making sure that we set up the notifications on the OddsJam arbitrage page so that you don't have to sit out here on the platform all day long and click refresh. We're going to get notified on our cell phone when there's profitable arbitrage plays, and then with that one-click bet feature, we're going to be able to knock out both bets in under a minute. Let me show you. Over here on the arbitrage tool, what you're going to want to do is click the filters button. We're going to want to set our percentage up. I like to go at least a minimum of 1.5. Feel free though to change this to 2% if you want. I leave the maximum percentage blank. Next, click the sports books drop down and then just select whatever books that you have accounts with. Everything else in here I leave blank or in the all position, the default. We'll then go ahead and save this filter and call it Arb Bangers. Next, we're going to come over to our notifications button right here. And when this loads, we obviously see Arb Bangers. We're going to want to click the notifications on into the blue position. Now, any arbitrage plays with the books that we have selected that are above 1.5%, we will be notified on our cell phone. So the beauty with this is you're not going to have to camp out on this tool all day long. You're simply just going to get notified when the plays pop up. Log on to both sports books, which takes less than a minute, and knock out both plays and make easy, risk-free cash. What are some of the common mistakes that you find yourself making with arbitrage betting? Comment down below. Now you have the tips and know what to look out for to avoid the same pitfalls that I made early on in my arbitrage betting career. If you're still, though, a little unsure of how the software works, or you want to learn more about the various different tools at OddsJam, including the arbitrage tool, then click this video right here. It's a masterclass playlist that goes through all the tools that we have available at OddsJam, walks you through it step by step, shows you exactly how much money that you can expect to make, depending on how much money you have allotted for sports betting, so that you know exactly what you're going to receive from these tools so that you can attack it and make easy cash.